So I have a project set up here with a drum loop and a piano loop. And it sounds like this. Now I want to add a keyboard part on top, notably a string part. I've already set up a MIDI instrument on this track, and it sounds like this. We can see down here, I'm using a MIDI keyboard, so you can see the keys I'm pressing. Now, I'm not very good of a keyboard player, so often I'll use step recording to do this a lot easier. Let me play the part I'm trying to record. As you can tell, there's a lot of spaces between the performance, which I can always fix later, and I'm hitting some wrong notes as well. So instead of doing it this way, we can use step recording to make this easier and more perfect. So let's undo the recording, and instead, let's create a MIDI item. Control on the PC, Command on the Mac, and draw it in from bar 1 to bar 3. Then we can double click it to open up the MIDI editor, which looks like this, with the MIDI piano roll over here, and we'll play the notes over here. But instead of recording it as a performance, we're going to use step recording, recording it in steps. So to turn on step recording, we can right-click over here, go to Options, and choose Use All MIDI Input for Step Recording. And if you don't have a MIDI keyboard, you can use the function keys instead. But we're going to use this option, which you could also turn on in the menu under Options, right down here. But the easiest way to choose this is to go up here in the toolbar. This button, which looks like footsteps, will turn on step recording. So you can turn it on right here. Then we'll choose our grid size for our recording, which is how long each step is going to be. I'm going to choose a half note, and over here, we can choose the length of the notes. If we leave it at grid, it'll be the length of the size of our grid. So every note I play will be a half note long. So let's give it a shot. I'll start off by playing the first chord. And it shows up right here, and then it jumps to the next step, ready to record the second chord. If we're not happy with this, we can undo it, and it undoes one note at a time. Then we can go back to the beginning by hitting W or using the arrow keys left and right. Right to go forward, step by step, or left to go back, step by step. So let's do it again, starting with the first chord. Again, it jumps to the second position, getting ready for the second chord. Let's play that one. The third one. I accidentally played the wrong chord, so undo it, go back a step, and play that chord again. And the fourth chord. At any point, if we're not happy with the chord, we can just select the whole chord, hit delete, go back with our arrows. We're just moving our cursor over here and replaying that chord. Now let's hear the result. We'll hit W to go back to the beginning. Sounds perfect. Not only am I playing all the chords I want, but they're quantized at the beginning and the end. So the note length is also perfect. But let's say we're not so good at playing the chords, but we know what note is in each chord. We could do it one by one. Just hit the first note of the chord, arrow back to the beginning, hit the second note, arrow back to the beginning, and hit the third note. Now we have our chord, and just do that for each chord one by one. Now we could hear it back. Again, it's quantized, and again, it's perfect. But let's say we want to play a rhythmic part. Let's delete this, close it, and let's change the sound. Instead of a string part, I saved a synth pad, which sounds like this. And the part I want to play is like this. Again, it's imperfect, and I'm playing a bunch of wrong notes. So instead of performing this, let's try to use step recording. Double click it, let's delete all the notes, and record it this way. I'll change the grid to be eighth notes. That's the type of notes we're playing. Turn on step recording, and let's play our first chord. It recorded those 4 notes. Go to the second chord, the third, and the fourth. Let's hear that back. As you can tell, the notes are too long. We could shorten them by selecting them all, holding the Shift key, and adjust the length like this. Sounds good, but we could have done it this way. Leave our grid at eighth notes, but change the length of the notes to be 16th notes. So the grid size will still be the same, but each note will be a 16th note long, like this. Notice, it's still recorded eighth notes, but they're a 16th note long. Let's do it with the others. I hit a wrong chord, undo it, go back with the arrow, now it should be perfect. Hit the W key to go back. Perfect. Each note is the exact same length, and they're all quantized to be right on our grid. So this is a very useful technique if you're not used to playing a MIDI keyboard in real time, like me. I'm not a keyboard player, and you don't have to draw in each note. You can still trigger each note with your MIDI keyboard and play the full chords without having to worry about the timing. You can just focus on the notes you want to play, step by step. So that's pretty much it. That's step recording MIDI keys in Reaper. Hope you learned something, hope you could use it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bingo, boys, let's go.
Ah!